Perfect. Shall we
Yeah.
start with a little introduction, maybe?
Yes, you can go, Sarah.
Yeah, I can go over to me. Okay, perfect. So thank you for joining us, everybody, for the first Proverb Masterclass of 2026. So every quarter we will be arranging a masterclass with Kirsty. So this one we're going to focus on a brand overview, a concept refresh for the new year, and Kirsty's going to focus on the massage oils as well, the blends. If there is anything you would like to see for future masterclasses, just let one of the TPH team know so we can prepare the module for quarter two for you. So like Kirsty said, if you can just keep your microphones muted, your cameras on so we can see your faces. Any questions, type them in the chat box. And if Kirsty hasn't answered it at the end, she will. And there will be some quiz questions from Kirsty at the end as well. So it will be fastest person to type the correct answer in the chat box will get a prize.
Start warming up your ears.
Exactly. Okay, so I'll hand over to Kirsty.
Thank you, team, for having me and for all being here, particularly those of you that I haven't met before. Hello for the first time. I am Kirsty. I'm one of the co-founders of Proverb. I'm the slightly smaller, blonder one. Luke is the kind of bigger, musclier, taller one that you will meet at some point. And as Sarah said, I have the pleasure of like the next 55 minutes with you. I'm going to go through. We're going to have a brand because I know there's a couple of new spas here. And also, even if you've got Proverb, it's super important that you know how to explain it to a guest compared to any of the other brands that you have in the building. And I also wanted to just talk about some of the terminology that is used in natural and organic skincare, because one of my passions, and those of you that come to know me, is pure teaching. Like my background is 25 years of teaching beauty therapy, massage, holistics. My passion is making you the literal best educated therapist you can be. So whilst I will always be talking about product, you'll probably get to know me as being quite obsessed by actual treatment and just being an amazing therapist, more than always just making you sell product. So we're going to split the masterclass into sections. I'll be telling you which bit we're in. I'm going to share things on the screen, and anything I share, then Sarah and Michaela will be sending that to you afterwards. But definitely make some notes because, as we said, there is that quiz at the end. Okay, so first screen coming up. Let's go from the top then in terms of what Proverb actually is and why it's in your building. Now, let me there's a couple of people just still coming in. Let me let them in. Okay, you should see me now as well. Let me just try and stop blocking your screen. Perfect. So on your piece of paper, first thing we need to know is what the word proverb actually means. So it means truth. It means statements of truth. And one of the things you'll find from me all the time is that I'm pretty obsessed with telling people the truth. And it's because very often in the beauty world, you don't really necessarily get the truth about formulations or how things are made. And you'll notice on Proverb packaging, there is often quite a lot of triangles. And the idea is with this triangle that there are three elements that we made Proverb for, three things that we wanted to take a person and create them products and treatments that work for, number one, their health. So their health in terms of what ingredients they were absorbing. So if you put health. Number two, their performance. Because if you haven't been taught this already, there are genuinely ingredients that are used in skincare that can really negatively impact your hormonal system, your endocrine system, your hormone system, and that once they're in your body are essentially working against you, which means that if you are trying to do a triathlon, you might not be running, as fast as you can do because of this toxic overload in your body. Or it might be as simple as you want to be able to lift your grandchildren up. So we've got health, performance, and then the third one is the environment. It is totally pointless us all being healthy and having great skin if we do not have a planet to do it on. So we're very focused in terms of the packaging, what happens with that, but also the ingredients. Because remember, all your beauty ingredients go down the sink. They go into the water system. So what are they and what are they doing once they've done that? And you will find our main tagline that we always talk about is get out what you put in. There is no truer a statement. If you think about your own life, you get out what you put in, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's what you eat, whether it's what you drink, whether it's how you train, going to the gym. It's really true. So we need truth, we get out what we put in, and the three things are health, performance, and the environment. What you'll see on the screen then are some icons, which are the top level concept of what we wanted to do when we made Proverb. So the first thing is that every ingredient has to be natural. So it cannot be man-made, it cannot be synthetic, it has to be natural. Or it has to be organic. And I'll explain those two words in a few minutes in a little bit more detail. So you've got 100% natural, and then you've got different percentages of organic ingredients in the bottles. And I'll explain why shortly. The other thing is we wanted everything to be vegan. So there is no animal byproducts, no animal products. It's very simple. You can say it's vegan, which means it's also great for vegetarians. It's all made here in England, so it goes under the EU cosmetic legislation. So we will be strictly cruelty-free, no testing on animals. But the real background of Proverb was about moving gym and spa together. My background is the same as yours. Therapist, spas, treatments, bathing in product, whereas Luke, the other founder, was a professional athlete. So he played professional rugby for 12 years at the highest level in the Premiership in the UK. And so his background and world is very distinctly sport, supplementation, nutrition, and it's really about bringing those two things together. Because, you know, for real 360-degree health, you cannot just have one side. You've got to have both of them. And so when we start looking at the skincare bottles, you will start to see that the formulations really remind you of things that you could have in your kitchen, that you might be putting in a smoothie, breakfast smoothie in the morning. They're things you will recognize, like spirulina or acai or coconut water or reishi mushrooms, things that your body recognizes and that it's happy to take in and take the vitamin content from. So we always talk about Proverb as the diet sheets, the formulations being taken from the diet sheets of professional athletes, because that's exactly what I did. I went and stole all the diet sheets from Luke and his Premiership rugby team. And then I went and found some more sports. And I basically looked at ingredients that could work in skincare that they were being told to eat, and avoided everything they were being told not to have. What was very, very crucial is that we didn't want Proverb just to be natural and organic. Like, that's clearly a fashionable thing to do, but we needed to make sure that it had the performance-driven results side there as well. So all of your products have got dermatological testing, and we have started clinically trialing like individual bottles. in very expensive third-party clinical tests. And also the ingredients that I chose, I was ardent and very, very firm that those individual ingredients had to have very good in vivo, so like in skin clinical results from that ingredient. So those of you that love product knowledge, there is lots behind the scenes that you can be learning. But while you are new to it, I would just take the top line first, understand the bottle and what it's there for. That is your first job. Once you've done that, we can go into much more detail. We also have a real drive for using refillable retail products. So some of you will have our refillable deodorant in your retail, where someone gets the outer case only once, and then they have to keep that forever, and they just fill up the deodorant inside. And there will be more things like that coming from Proverb. And so you can see on the screen some of the bottles. That yellow bottle you can see, that is the example of the deodorant. That is the deodorant case where you'd get that yellow piece once and then you put the refill inside it. But in terms of how we will work in a spa property, we will put and can put products in the spa to do the treatments. We can put product in the gym to be doing treatment in the gym. We will have the retail side as well. And depending on your property, the first thing to find out is what you actually have from Proverb so that you're clear how it sits in your building. And our treatment concept was very much taken from elite sport. I was lucky that I got incredible access to like world-class physiotherapists that were working with Luke and his team. I was obviously a massage therapist already, but it always used to interest me. Luke would come home, and at this point he was kind of 18 stone, 6'4". I also lived with a 6'7", 19 stone one as well. And I would massage them and they'd be like, can't really feel it. Whereas they would have physios that were the same size as me, women, and they could make them cry. And so I was very lucky that I essentially got to learn from them and learn all the things that we're sometimes not taught as a massage therapist that could make us better and more precise, and also brought in a lot of assisted stretch. So when we think about Proverb as treatments, it's about using assisted stretch and also taking the elements that we are allowed to from physiotherapy and bring into our world. And so those of you that are going to learn Proverb treatments, that's what you should be expecting. But ultimately, we're here to help people put the right ingredients inside their bodies, but really crucially for the therapist and the spa to educate you on what that is, because there is so much cheating and what we call greenwashing going on, and it's very hard to find out what the actual truth is. So what I wanted to do this morning is also go through a couple of the key marketing words that the natural and organic industry use. You will have definitely heard these when brands speak to you, so that you understand legally what that word actually means. So we'll do that, and then we're going to start to look at some key product focus. And particularly because I know who's here, I want to look at the Musclease focus, the Musclease body cooling gel, and really look at the body oils and how you're going to get your guest to select the body oil and decide which system they are in. Okay, I'm going to share you a new screen. Perfect. You should now be able to see a grey one. Just let me know ever in the chat, or you can turn yourself on if you can't see anything properly. So we have done our brand fresh already. What we are going to have a quick look at is some green beauty definitions. So what I want you to do is write down the word, and then I will tell you the key things that you need to know about it. So if first, let me move me. If you write vegan, okay. Now, we have said, and what you need to know, Proverb is vegan. So that is easy. You've got a vegan product. But what's important to know is what vegan really means. So what it means is that there's no animal product or no byproduct from an animal. So we don't have things like lanolin, we don't use beeswax, we don't use honey. But very crucially, vegan does not mean that something is natural and organic. And what I want you to know is you should always be worried about this word vegan, because a lot of skincare uses it to make you believe that it's healthy for you. And that is not the case. It is the same as food. You can have vegan food that is not good for you. You can have vegan food that's amazing for you. You could be and make a bottle, a skincare bottle, which is 100% petrol, and that would be vegan. Okay, so just know what it means. It doesn't mean it's definitely healthy, and it doesn't mean that it is natural or organic. It just means there's no animal byproducts, which is very important if your guest is vegan. But if you have a brand or you're shopping for your own products and something only says it's vegan, you know that they're probably trying to make it look healthier than it is by just telling you it's vegan. Then next on your list, has anyone heard brands say that they come from clean beauty? This word clean. Okay. Now, the most important thing to know about clean beauty is that there is no legal definition of that word. It doesn't mean anything. It implies that that brand is probably natural and organic and probably healthier, but it does not guarantee it. So just by the side of clean, just put down no legal definition, doesn't really mean anything. Okay, what other words do people tell us then? Okay, next one on your list, non-toxic skincare. Have you heard anyone say non-toxic skincare? Again, there's no official legal definition of non-toxic. And what is very, very important as a therapist to know is that there are definitely beauty skincare ingredients that have medical studies that prove that they are linked to endocrine hormonal disruption, that prove that they're linked to cancer, that prove that they're linked to neural disruption, irritation, skin allergies, and they are still allowed to be sold. So that is real. There are things that are not good for your body that are sold, but the word non-toxic, I can eat every peanut, nut, tree nut there is, and I will just get all the lovely fatty acids from them, and I will be fine. But I have a friend, one of my best friends, that if she eats a nut, she dies. It is definitely toxic to her. So I would just ignore, again, the concept of non-toxic in skincare, because it's impossible. How do you know what's toxic to one human and not toxic to another human? So again, just know that this is a marketing term that's used. Okay. And then if you write next, cruelty-free. So Proverb is definitely cruelty-free. We don't test on animals. None of the ingredients have been tested on animals. also what is important to know, if we were doing this masterclass 25 years ago, it would be a very big deal to be cruelty free, because at that point it wasn't normal. But now in England, where I am, since 1997, nobody has been allowed to test on animals. And then in the EU, so the European Union, where I also am and our cosmetics are formulated, you haven't been allowed to test on animals since 2009. So in the EU, if your brands are coming from the EU, that is very, very standard. But if you do have a guest where this is very important to them, that they are very keen to protect the bunny rabbits, then the thing you should always make them aware of is that a brand can be not tested on animals in the EU, but then they might sell in territories where they still test on animals, because there are still countries in the world where you have to test on animals. China was always the main one that's held up, although that is starting to change. But there's even states in America where animal testing still happens for cosmetics. Proverb doesn't sell anywhere where you have to test on animals. So you can be really clear with that with your guests. And then just before we leave this definition part, I wanted to really check the word natural and organic, because that is how you are going to refer to Proverb, as being natural and organic. But what does that really mean? Okay, so if you put natural, put right by the side of it, not man-made. So what natural means is it's not man-made. So a carrot, if we want carrot seed oil, a carrot is definitely natural, how it grows. Nobody is making that carrot in a synthetic laboratory. But if it is a natural carrot, the farmer that is growing it is allowed to put whatever they need to onto the soil. So they can use any pesticides or fertilizers or slug pellets to kill any of the insects that are eating their carrots. They're allowed to put that on. So the difference between natural and organic becomes about the soil. So all skincare products in our sector, we will have natural ingredients, because the other crucial thing to know is that there are some things that can only be natural. Water is the best example. So water, clearly 100% natural, but this cannot be organic because it was not grown by a human. So if you then put organic as your next word, and the key things to know with organic is it has to be fully controlled and grown by a human. So if the earth and the world created it, like it does water or sea salts or dead sea salts, they have to be natural because they were not controlled by a human. And that's the thing people don't understand about organic. And the farmer that is growing the organic product is not allowed to put pesticides or herbicides or anything like that onto the soil. So the crucial difference with natural and organic is about soil and what is allowed to go in the soil, and is also about the human control of the growing conditions. And so that's why when a brand is telling the truth, and remember proverb means truth, you will have different percentages. Because if we put water in moisturizer, which we have to because you can't make cream without water, then that percentage is natural. Whereas the argan oil that can be grown by the farmer and controlled will be organic. And that's why the percentages are slightly different. And hopefully that's really useful, because that's not just Proverb, that is the whole of the beauty industry and all the brands and how they work. So natural is not technically the same as organic. And with our bottles, we will tell you sometimes. So for instance, those of you that have the body massage oils, if you write body massage oils, they are all 100% organic. Because remember, there's no drop of water in a body oil. It's all plant seed oils. So all of you that have got body massage oils, they are all 100% organic. And that leads us very nicely to thinking about some body massage oils. Okay, so most of you have 4 body oils, 3 or 4 body oils. Proverb has 4 pre-blends. So there's 4 body oils, and you have them in your treatment rooms to be doing massage treatments, but they are all launching very, very soon as retail. So I have them all here as the new retail versions as well. Right then, let's have a look. The way I'm going to explain it is I'm going to talk you through how we will get the client to choose the oil. And the most common way we do that is we present them with 4 statements of truth. So remember, we like the truth. What we did is we went through and went, why do people really come to us? Why do they want to come to a spa and lie on our bed? And we found the 4 core sentences. And Jeanette, the product house, and the team were very involved in this of going, actually, why are people walking into these spas? So we have 4 sentences that we present to the guest on 4 cards. And we literally get them to pick which sentence sounds most like them. And then that sentence will link to their body oil. Now, the reason we've done this, you will have previously with other brands and in your spas done lots of different ways of choosing an oil. But you know that you're presenting them different oils and getting them to smell and to touch things. But in their mind, they're going, I want to lie on your bed and you start massaging me. Stop making me faff around choosing oils. And so what we wanted with Proverb was a really efficient way to do this, a quick way to do it. So I'm going to pop up onto the screen the 4 sentences, the 4 cards. So if we write these down, so our first one, we have defense. So if you write defense, and the sentence that goes with defense is, I can't stay well. Now your defense oil is the signature smell for Proverb. It is wild mint, eucalyptus, geranium, and lavender. So wild mint, eucalyptus, geranium, lavender. I've got those coming up on the screen in a minute. So it's a very invigorating scent. It's very uplifting. If somebody has a cold or they've had the flu or their nose is blocked, they need a decongestant, then it's a great oil for that. If they like a stronger smell, then they will probably like this one. And it's the same smell, aroma that is also in your skin and gym sanitizer. And for those of you in your properties where you have the Proverb amenities in the changing rooms and the hotel, it's the same scent in there as well. If you then write recovery next, so recovery is I can't sleep. And that is the complete opposite. That is a very relaxing, very gentle, very delicate scent, which is a rose and rose geranium scent. And we'll write these down and get the sentences down. And then I'm going to put up a grid where you've got all the essential oils written so you can see them on the screen. So longevity, next. Longevity is for the people that pick the card, I am stressed. And longevity is the sweet orange scent. So it's sweet orange and bergamot. Also a relaxing scent. So for us, the recovery and the sweet orange longevity are the two downwards aromatherapy blends for relaxation. Whereas the two upwards invigorating scents are the defense and the last one, which is performance, which our sentence is, I have so much to do. So what we're going to do when the guest arrives is essentially, we've got these 4 sentences. I am stressed. I have too much to do. I can't sleep. I can't stay well. And they choose which one is theirs. If they tell you, oh, I'm all of those, then you say, well, you can't be. You have to pick one. And once they have picked the one, then I will bring them just a little bit of that oil in one of our bowls, and I will just put it on the back of their hand and get them to sniff. So they're only smelling the one oil to save time, make it more efficient. They want the massage. They want to be on the bed. And I watch their body language. And as long as they look fine, we will go with that oil. If I read their face and can tell that they hesitated, then I will introduce one more. I will pick one other that I think works for them and let them choose between the two. But as a brand, we don't do a full sniff smell test with all of them. We don't suggest, just because our idea is meant to be about efficiency and really making sure that we've got them in the right body system. Because if it's been prescribed at the beginning, it is much easier to prescribe them the matching oil at the end. Okay, so if I just put up for you 2 seconds. Oh, a few pages I've got to move through. Okay, so here we go. So the screen that I've popped up now, in case you didn't write them down and you want to get those essential oils down, we have got Defense, which is the wild mint, eucalyptus, geranium, and lavender. Great for decongestion, great for focusing on clarity of mind, feeling like you can really get yourself better. Whereas Recovery is the most gentle of all of them. The rose geranium, rose, lavender, and ylang ylang. Performance is the spicy oil. So this one is ginger, black pepper, and frankincense. Really good for anyone that you need to create warmth on the skin or with the muscle. So good if their muscles are sore, maybe quite good before or after training. And then Longevity, focusing on rest and de-stressing, is the sweet orange, bergamot, ylang ylang, and patchouli. Now, very, very crucial to know, none of those 4 have any nuts. So there are no nuts in those bottles. So you don't have any issue with nut allergies with the 4 oils. In terms of pregnancy, we would always suggest that you use the 2 relaxing oils for the pregnancy. So we would use Recovery for pregnancy. We will also happily use Longevity, but we don't use Defense or Performance because they're more invigorating. And when you are 38 weeks pregnant, you do not need to be any more invigorated. You're quite invigorated enough. And the last thing that's also very useful for you, Recovery can also go on the face. The other 3 oils cannot, but Recovery was blended to also be a facial oil. So the percentage of essential oil is slightly lower. It's a more delicate essential oil blend. So we're happy with it going on the face. So recovery can go on the face, it can go on pregnancy, and it can go on the full body. And very soon in your properties, what you will see now is that you will end up with a retail bottle. So this is the retail oil, the 100 ml oil. Some of you maybe have one already, which is Defense, but they are now all available. So there is a 100 ml recovery, there's a 100 ml Defense, there's 100 ml longevity and performance. So you can literally, after the treatment, whichever one you have used on your guest, they can get that one in retail to take home. So it's now much easier for you to have that continuity of treatment and to make sure that you can get them using the same product at home. And remember, we've said all of these are all 100% organic. The base oil for them is the same. So they have the same 3 ingredients in the base. They have organic apricot, organic jojoba, spelt jojoba. So apricot, jojoba, and sunflower oil. And you want to be able to tell the guest that the apricot is there because it's very rich in vitamin A. We know how crucial vitamin A is in a retinol world for skin, so we want the vitamin A. The sunflower has got lots of vitamin D and E, a lot of vitamin E. Remember, because they are grown organically, they are also more potent. They don't have any pesticides or fertilizers or anything else that's got into the ingredients. So they will tend to be stronger. And jojoba is always an amazing mimic. It's normally like the closest copy, the closest mimic to sebum. So jojoba is very good for the skin barrier. So you just want to be very clear with them that it's not just a massage oil you're using. It is actually a treatment for their skin that you're putting on as well. And it just happens to be very useful for us to make sure that we can do the massage. So the key takeaways are that you've got potentially, depending on what's in your property, you've either got 3 or 4 aromas that are pre-blended. They're 100% organic. You need to learn the essential oils that go in each one. And we need to make sure you learn the sentence that goes with each one, so that I can't sleep or I have too much to do. And that you know which ones can be used in pregnancy, and that you know that none of them have any nuts in them. And that they are all vegan, all cruelty-free. So for most of us, we spend a lot of our time massaging. Nod your head. Yep. We're doing lots of massage. One of the things I wanted to then talk about today was other things that we should bring into that massage from Proverb to make sure that you can either upsell and make a longer treatment, or that you have other things that you can retail to them to take home that will help with your commissions, but really crucially help with making sure that they are putting the right ingredients inside their body. When you work with a brand like Proverb, some of you love selling. So if some of you, I said, do you like selling products? You'd say yes. Some of you hate it. And one of the things I want you to think about when you've got the ingredient lists that we have is there is literally like a moral obligation to help them. If they are using products at home that we know have ingredients inside them that impact negatively their health, Why would we ever, like, we care, like, we're therapists because we all care. We all had a passion to help people and make them feel better. Like, why would we be letting them still use things AM and PM, drip feeding it into their body that potentially is having a negative effect on their health? So it is not just selling. It is making sure that we've got them the right things to be using for their long-term health and longevity. So let's have a think then about the Muscle Ease cooling gel next. Now, at the moment in Dubai, most of you are struggling to have this one on the shelf. It was there for a solid 5 years, and then Dubai registration is quite difficult with names, and municipality has decided it doesn't like the name. So for nearly 8 or 9 months, between the product house and us, we have been trying to give them names for that bottle that they like. We are getting closer, and we are hopefully nearly there. It will be exactly the same, but we will have it. They want us to change the name of it slightly. Hopefully soon it will be signed off. As soon as it is, it will be back in your world. But you probably still have it for treatments. And some of you, those of you that are not maybe Dubai, Saudi, you may have it, but it's a really important bottle for you to be able to use. So I want us to have a little look at it now. Okay. So on your screen, you should be able to see Kirsty blocking the screen. Hold on. Let me move me. Okay. Muscle Ease Cooling Gel, but just put a little note that the name will be changing on you. I want to go through how a guest should use it at home and then how we should use it in the treatment room. So this product, for the guest, they can use it as frequently as they want during the day. It is very good if they have just been in the gym or to their exercise class or running, whatever their training is, to use after training. So they train, they shower, and then they apply the Muscle Ease Cool Down Gel. It is not for the face. Do not let them put it on their face. And it is like all Proverb products, they are concentrated. When you use organic ingredients, everything gets more concentrated. There's less water, because water to us is in the natural camp. We don't want quite as much of it. So you do have to sometimes use a little bit less of Proverb products. And they can be using this for 4 things. Every Proverb retail product, we wanted to have a 4-in-1 efficiency. They should be able to do 4 jobs with each bottle. And when you are retailing and selling Proverb bottles, you want to know what the 4 things are. And very often you will find on the pack that on the carton, it will tell you the 4x4. So it tells you what they can use it for. The first one will always be the most obvious job. So for this one, it is a muscle ease gel. It is to stop their muscles aching and to ease any tension. But it can also be a body lotion. You can use it as a cooling body mask. And if you put it into a bowl of boiling water, it is also a really lovely steam inhalation. So very good as a decongestant. So that's what they do with it at home. What are we going to be doing with it? Okay, so as the therapist, one of my suggestions, particularly as it's getting warmer in your territories, is that once we finish massaging an area, so if we are doing the whole leg and we've done all our massage and stretch on the leg, that we then finish that area with a thin layer of the Muscle Ease Cool Down Gel. We then move to the arm, we massage the arm. When we've finished, we apply the cool down gel. So I would definitely always suggest that we use it as a finishing layer as part of our massage. The other thing I will do with it is to at the end of a facial, when someone is very sleepy and doesn't want to move, I will put some of it into my hand and then I will literally hold it in front of their nose because it really helps to wake them up. So it's really nice in a facial that at the end, when I've completely finished, I'm not putting it on their face, remember, that I will bring it in front of their nose and I will cover their shoulders with it as my finishing touch, because it's a really different smell to what they've had in the facial. It wakes them up. Everybody loves the smell. And then it also gives you the ability to then retail that product as well, because you've put it on them. So it's not for the face. The other important note is you do not want to use it on pregnant clients. It contains cypress essential oil, and that is always a contraindication to pregnancy. So we can't use that one in pregnancy. So it just explains on the screen, do not use it in pregnancy, and I always introduce it at the end of the facial as well. Remember, you will get this presentation, so you'll get all these words as well. But I've then gone through and I thought, okay, well, who should you really be looking for that needs to take this product home with them? So the customer driver, the people we want, anyone that's got muscle tension, anyone that gets DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle tension. So DOMS you normally get possibly 1 or 2 days after a very hard training session. So those of you that have guests and clients that are definitely using your gyms, then this is a great product for them. Is it something that you could have in the changing room or that they could trial and take with them after they've done their training? Anyone that stands all day, if you have guests that their job means that, like us, they stand on their feet all day, then the muscle ease is very good for the ankles, the feet, the lower limbs. Maybe they are tourists that have come to your country and they're spending all day sightseeing. This would be a great product for them. Also, if they have been or they are going on long haul flights to get to you, because obviously we want to use it. It is a vaso decongestion. It is there to help the venous system, the veins, bring the blood back away from the lower leg and limbs. So anyone that gets leg swelling. Also anyone that overheats, because it is cooling. If you've got someone like me, if you put me on a treadmill and make me run, I will go bright red, but I will stay bright red for like the next 4 hours. My body, I find it really hard to bring my body temperature down. So when I go in the shower after being in the gym, I just get hotter and hotter and hotter. Whereas this would be really nice for me after the shower to put on to try and cool me down. And also any of your guests that you have for any massage treatments where they are complaining of like stress and aching and tension in their shoulders, then this would be a really good product to get them to use. And when you show them how to use it, I would tell them that it's cooling and it's soothing, but show them how to put it on. And whether it's your arm or your leg, just show them the direction that they need to go. Just like we instinctively do, teach them that they need to go upwards towards the lymph nodes to help reduce the swelling and lactic acid with the massage movements as well. It's really nice to teach them some of your skill because they feel like they know more. So you tell them why they need the bottle, but show them how they're going to put it on. And suddenly they're like, oh, I can do that. And so the last thing I'm going to do this morning, before we do a few quiz questions, see who's been listening best, is just talk to you briefly about what is in it. Okay, let me move Kirsty. And every time we do a masterclass, we will take a product, one specific product, and really concentrate on it like this so that you can do a bit of a deeper dive into the ingredients. But that muscle cooling gel has in it something called V-tonic. And that V-tonic is a complex of essential oils which has been clinically proven, like in vivo clinical proving, so this is like on human skin, to bring relief and refreshment to heavy, painful legs. If it is in green, that means those words have come out of the clinical trial. And the complex has in it Japanese mint, which is menthol, really good for the overheating, cooling, and antibacterial. It has lemon, which is very good for boosting natural immunity and also useful for the skin. When someone has been sweating and doing lots of exercise, they're likely to maybe get congestion or spots on their back or their chest. And the lemon oil will help with that because it also helps with a gentle exfoliation of the skin. You then have cypress, which is the thing we can't use on the pregnant people, which is a vasoconstrictor. So this is about the veins that take the blood back. Very healing for varicose veins and to decongest and help support the vein system, because remember, veins only have the valves in them. They don't have the heart pumping like the arteries do. So the veins are a slower system of blood moving, and cypress can help them. You then get laudanum oil, which is also often you hear called rock rose. This is very good for nervous fatigue. That's why we chose it. We wanted the nervous fatigue because if you've been standing all day, you've been on your legs all day, that is one of the things that happens. Also a nice oil for scars, if anyone has scars. And then it's got lavender. Lavender has always been good for swelling. It's always refreshing. It's always anti-inflammatory. And obviously it always adds a really lovely smell into that as well. But take one of these bottles if you haven't smelt it already. It is predominantly minty menthol direction. The lavender is at the back. So with that one then, you have that as a professional product. And I want you to think about when you can bring that into treatment, because you can use it more than you think. And then once it's in your retail areas, it is a very easy product to retail. It tends to be the one that we sell most easily in spas because it very specifically targets a frequent concern that anyone you have that is stressed or aching or does lots of exercise will have. Last point, just remember you also have Proverb Body Focus Salt Scrub. And those of you that are here as reception, really remember that if there is time in your appointment diaries, that you should always, when you're doing a Proverb massage, be seeing if you could upsell them into having a scrub or a back scrub, if the time allows in the columns. And we can talk more about that product next time. Okay, right then. Are you ready? What I would do when there's lots of you, just have one of you that is going to type. I'm going to ask 3 questions, and it will be the person who answers and we get the response from them quickest in the chat. Okay? So just one of you be the typist. Okay. First question then. Proverb has the triangle where it stands for 3 things. Can anyone remember what the 3 points are? The 3 things that we made that bottle for. People who care about. Oh, April. April is there. Health, performance, environment. Winner, winner.
Perfect. Can you just put your property for us, April?
Good work, team. Mark's got it. Honours, Sparvida, Asia. And what Sarah is going to do is we will have like a little proverb gift. So for whoever answers first, you will get your little proverb gift. Okay. Next one then, let's have a muscle ease question. What is the essential oil that we can't use on pregnancy that's in the muscle ease? So not the body oil, but in the muscle ease cooling gel, the one we've just looked at, there is an essential oil in that V-tonic blend. That is the essential oil cypress. Yes. April's there again. But those of you that answered before, it was a good answer. It wasn't quite the right question, but some people also answered it as the body oils, as which ones you shouldn't use in pregnancy, and were correct, which is we don't use performance or defense if they're pregnant. We keep the recovery and the longevity. So good work on those. April, we just need to know which property you're at, so we make sure your little Prezi goes to the right place. And then on the body massage oils, your 4 body massage oils, I only mentioned them briefly, so this one might be harder. But can anyone remember what the 3 base oils are? So not the essential oils, what the actual seed or plant oils are that are underneath those essential oil blends. Good work, Honor. So I've got Honor L. Do you want to let us know which property it is? Oh, like we're really close again. Yep. Apricot, sunflower, jojoba. Good job. And the big thing is obviously it's hugely unusual to have Soil Association certified 100% organic body oils in a building, because normally spas aren't willing to spend that much. But with the product house, what we wanted to do, and we've set up a system where we make it in such strong quantities that you're able to get like the elite. There's literally, it's like the elite highest grade oils you could possibly have. You've got organic grown essential oils and organic grown base oils, and at really reasonable prices. Okay, Sarah, so it was Honors. We just need to know from April and Honors which properties you are, because obviously it's coming up as your phones. We can't see which. Has anyone got any questions for me? Anything they need to know? Always, like Sarah said, the other thing is if there is anything in your building that you are querying, or clients have asked you questions you don't know the answer to, or a product that you just don't really understand that well, then tell us, because we will literally make the next masterclass about it. Because for us, the most useful thing is to kind of fill in any gaps that you guys have. Those of you that are brand new to Proverb, thank you for listening. I hope it was the start of an introduction. I know you'll be doing lots more training with Sarah and her team, but it was lovely to be the first person that spoke to you about it. I'll let Luke come in and give you a wave. He's arrived in the office as well. So
morning.
The bigger browner head version I was talking about.
Who will be in Dubai in a week.
Yeah, who will also be in Dubai in a week. So anyone that's going to the professional beauty show, definitely come by and say hello to all of us on the product house stand. We will all be there. Anyone that has to run away and go to treatment, feel free. You can sign yourself out. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm just waiting for Honor before you sign off. Honor ELNW09, can you let us know which property you're from so we can get your gift to you?
Oh, I think it's Raffles.
I can see the picture now. Is it Raffles? Raffles, perfect. Okay, so Hayley, Mahala's doing training with you, I think, soon, so she can bring you a gift. Perfect. Yeah. I'll leave that with Mahala.
Friday, I'm there.
Perfect. Okay, please take a gift on Friday. Perfect. We'll sort Intercontinental Red Sea when we do your training for you.
Amazing.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much, Kirsty, for the great session. And we look forward to the next one next month. And yeah, see Kirsty in Dubai if you're at the show.
Yeah. See you soon, guys.
Thank you. Bye.